Hi, this is Emma and welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to bring you the 12 Days of Christmas mini-series. For day 8 we're going to be making a snowman chocolate orange cover. For this project you will need DK yarn, and I'll list the amounts in the description below, a 4mm crochet hook, scissors, darning needle, stitch markers, a small amount of toy stuffing, 1.5mm black buttons which are optional, and of course a chocolate orange. Let's begin. To start we're going to create a magic ring, so we'll wrap the yarn around our fingers, inserting the hook under the first loop, pulling the second loop through and securing with a chain. Into that magic ring we're going to work 8 half double crochets, so that's yarn over and pull up a loop. We'll have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Again, yarn over, insert and pull up a loop, 3 loops on our hook and yarn over and pull through all 3. And we're going to repeat this until we have 8 half double crochets. We'll then pull on the tail to tighten the magic ring, and we'll join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Moving on to round 2, we're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. We're going to place 2 half double crochets in every stitch around. Once you finish your increases, be careful not to confuse a slip stitch as a stitch, and we will slip stitch to the first stitch to join. Onto round 3, we're going to chain 1, we'll work 1 half double crochet and then increase in the next, so that's working 2 half double crochets into the same stitch, and this will be our pattern repeat. So we'll work 1 half double crochet, increasing in the next. And then we'll slip stitch to join at the end. Moving on to round 4, we'll chain 1, we'll work 2 half double crochets, so 1 and 2, and then we'll increase in the third, so 2 half double crochets into that same stitch, and we'll repeat this all the way around, 2 half double crochets and then an increase. Once we've finished that round, we'll then join with a slip stitch. Rounds 5 to 10 are made the same way, so we'll chain 1 and we'll work 1 half double crochet in every stitch around, slip stitch into join at the end, and we'll repeat this for 6 rounds. To round 11 we'll chain 1 and we're going to work a single crochet, so that's insert and pull up a loop. We'll have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through 2. We'll repeat that again for another stitch, and then we're going to work an invisible decrease. So at the top of our stitches we have our V stitches. You'll see the front loop at the front and the back loop. The invisible decrease uses the front loops only, so we're going to insert into the front loop of the first stitch, insert into the front loop of the second stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. We'll have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and we've just turned 2 stitches into 1. and this will be our pattern repeat. So we'll work 2 single crochets, and then we'll single crochet 2 together using the front loops only, and we'll repeat this all the way around. Once we've completed this round, we're going to snip our yarn and we are going to finish with an invisible join. So to do this, we're going to add a needle onto our tail. We have our tail coming out of our last stitch, and we're going to locate the first 2 stitches of the round, and the invisible join is going to create a false loop over our first stitch of the round. So we're going to insert our needle into the second stitch under both loops and push it through. And then where our tail comes out of our last stitch, I'm going to insert my needle directly down the centre, and I'm going to pick up both loops of that stitch, moving my tail out the way so we can see the first stitch. I'm going to insert my needle directly down the centre of the first stitch, again picking up both loops. So we've gone through the last stitch of the round and the first stitch. We'll just pull it all the way through, and be careful not to pull too tight. We want the loop that we are creating to be the same size as the rest of all of our stitches that we have created. We can then go ahead and weave in our ends to fasten off. For the hat, we're going to start off with a magic ring, and we'll secure that with a chain. And into that magic ring, we're going to place 6 single crochets. 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then we'll pull on the tail to close the magic ring. On round 2, we're going to work an increase into every stitch, so that's placing 2 single crochets into each stitch around. For round 3, we're going to work 1 single crochet in the first stitch and increase into the next, so 2 single crochets into that same stitch, and we'll repeat this all the way around. 1 single crochet followed by an increase. Moving on to round 4, we're going to work 2 single crochets, so 1 and 2, and then we'll increase into the third. And this will be our pattern repeat, so 2 single crochets followed by an increase. For round 5, we are going to be working 3 single crochets followed by an increase, and this will be our pattern repeat, so 3 single crochets followed by an increase. For round 6, we're going to be working in the back loops only. So on top of our stitches we have our V-stitch, the front and the back, we're just going down the back loops only, and we're going to place 1 single crochet in the back loop of every stitch around. Rounds 7 to 12 are worked the same way, so we're going back through both loops of the stitch now, and we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch, and we're going to repeat this for 6 rounds. For round 13, we will be single crocheting into the back loops only again, so we're going to place 1 single crochet in the back loop of every stitch around. We're going to start closing the hat now, so for round 14 we're going to single crochet 3, and then we'll decrease into the next, and we'll repeat this all the way round. 3 single crochet and a decrease. Round 15 we're still carrying on with the decrease, so we'll single crochet 2 and we'll decrease in the next. So 2 single crochet and a decrease, and we'll repeat this all the way round. So you can see now that it is starting to close the opening. So round 16 we'll work 1 single crochet and a decrease, and we'll repeat this all the way around. 1 single crochet followed by a decrease. Round 17 is our final round, so we are just going to decrease all the way around. So that's just decreasing in the next stitch all the way around. We'll then snip our yarn to fasten off, and we can go ahead and start stuffing the hat. We're then just going to attach a needle onto our tail, and we are going to pick up the front loops of every stitch just to close that opening up. Once we've picked up all the front loops, we can just pull it tight to cinch it closed and fasten up. So now we have stuffed our hat. The front loop only round that is exposed, this is where we are going to attach attach our brim. So the opening that we closed is the bottom of the hat. So I'm going to start off with a slip knot on my hook, and with the base of our hat facing upwards, I'm going to locate the front loop only row, and we're going to start off with a standing half double crochet. So yarn over and securing those loops with my finger, I'm going to insert into any front loop. I'm going to yarn over and pull through, and we'll have 3 loops on our hook. I'm going to grab hold of the tail. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops to finish the half double crochet. And this is a standing half double crochet. We'll then work an extra 3 half double crochets in those front loops. So 2, 3 and 4. And then in that 5th stitch, we're going to work 2 half double crochets. And this will be our pattern repeat for this round. We'll work 4 half double crochets into those front loops, followed by an increase. Once we've worked our last increase, I'm going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet of the round. We'll chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. We're then going back into that first stitch to work a half double crochet. We'll then work an extra 4, so we'll have 5 half double crochets in total. So 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we'll follow that with an increase. And this will be our pattern repeat, so 5 half double crochets followed by an increase. At the end of the round, we're going to fasten off, and we will finish off with an invisible join. So for the hat band, we are going to pop a slip knot on our hook, and we will chain 31. We have our 31 chains. I'm going to be working into the back loops of our chains, and we're going into the 2nd chain from the hook, so we don't count the loop that's on our hook. So here is our 2nd back bump. I'm going to insert and pull up a loop. We'll have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through 2. And we're going to work these single crochets in every stitch along the chain. We'll then fasten off, and we can just double check that our band fits round the edge of our hat, which it does, and then we can just sew it down around the hat just above the brim. Moving on to the nose, we're going to start off with a magic ring, and we'll secure that with a chain. And into that magic ring, we're going to work 4 single crochets. So 2, 3 and 4, and then we'll pull on our tail to close the ring. For round 2 of the nose, we're going to work an increase into the 1st stitch, so that's 2 single crochets into the same stitch. We'll then work 1 single crochet in the remaining 3 stitches to finish the round. For round 3 of the nose, we just want to make sure all our stitches are facing the same way. We're going to increase into that 1st stitch, and then we'll place 1 single crochet in the remaining 4 stitches to finish the round. So this will be our nose, so we are just going to fasten off, going to chain 1 to finish off, as this is not a raw edge, and then I'll push my magic ring tail inside to hide the end away. If you choose to make crochet eyes, this is how you proceed. So we're going to start off with a magic ring and secure with a chain, and inside that magic ring we're going to work 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We'll then pull on the tail to close the ring, and we will fasten off. So we'll snip the yarn, and then we will close our ring with an invisible join. So this can be quite fiddly as the round is quite small, but we just do it in exactly the same way. So we locate the second stitch of the round, insert your needle under both loops, down the centre of the last stitch, and then down the centre of the first stitch. We'll then just pull all the loops tight so that they're all the same size as the rest of the stitches, and this is a crochet eye. You would then need to make a second one in the same way. So we have 2 eyes, or you can choose to use the 1.5mm black buttons instead. Moving on to the assembly, we're going to be attaching the nose to the 4th round from the bottom of the work. We will then go ahead and attach the eyes 1 row above the nose, and this will be the same for both the button option and the crochet option. We'll add the second eye in exactly the same way. Once the eyes are attached, I'm just going to grab my chocolate orange and pop the snowman on there so we can get the positioning for the hat. To position the hat, I've decided to sew it on a bit of an angle. You can, however, have it on straight, but I just prefer it on an angle. And we're going to use the holes between the brim and the main section of the hat to sew to the top of the head. So if you just pull the brim a little bit, you can see that there are holes where we've attached it, and we're going to use those to sew through onto the head. Once it's all sewn on, you can go ahead and sew in all of the ends, and that is your snowman complete. I hope you've enjoyed this video for the Snowman chocolate orange cover. Thank you for watching. Please do consider liking and subscribing. It really does help the channel out, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!